Howdy, we delicious people. Today I'm here to do blah blah blah. I'm here to do yet another episode of DC Universe Online villain storyline. If anything, let's get on. Go through. See what we are going to do today. Evidently, we are going to find Dr. Psycho and get some answers. If anything, I like the visuals for Dr. Psycho. Really, I wasn't familiar with the character at all until just watching this. I'm like, why have I never seen this character till now? It must have been just probably one of those comic book characters that doesn't get used that often. Like so many other characters that I'm sure probably through most of this playlist of this, so many people probably will be like, who the heck is this? I don't know who this person. If it's not Batman, if it's not Superman, if it's not Wonder Woman, I don't know who this is. And that's perfectly okay. Because that'll happen. Because these characters are probably for more of the comic book buffs that probably know everything about every character, like
Dr. Cisco journal entry.
Please calm down. I'm here to help you.
We have to get these meta patients back in their resequencing chambers before their DNA is compromised. I'll trap them in a stasis field. You get them on the transfer pad.
For everything from plasma to petroleum products.
yeah, as you can see there, we are fighting Supergirl. If anything, I didn't realize what was going on for this mission right away. So, like, you're gonna watch me a little bit of stumble and fumble until I figure out what the heck to do here. Because I'm like, okay, they say to do something with her, but they don't say to do anything with anybody else. So then, I just kind of realized that, oh, okay, I gotta, I not only have to...
I'll get you out of there.
Researcher's journal. We've invested insulated gloves when handling cryotechnics.
Like, I not only have to do something with her, I have to do something with others as well. One thing, if I had mentioned from another episode passing, frickin' Supergirl is kind of very much... She overly heavily uses her heat vision. And you're gonna see that eventually come up. My whole thing is, to be brutally honest, with a lot of these characters that I go up against, with now and even in the future, it seems like I know there's not a lot of stuff.
No, please, no!
Drop him.
I know there's not a lot of buttons, especially for characters. So I'm assuming for characters, it's kind of the same thing. Are the computer characters that they only have a limited amount. They only have a limited amount of powers to use, so they just use them to their best ability. If anything, to be
I'll make sure you suffer like they did.
to be brutally honest, when fighting a lot of these characters, it honestly seems like they have one favorite power that they use all the time, spamming it to the nth degree.
You think you're getting out of here alive? You're mistaken.
And especially if it's one of those buttons where it gets you completely stunned or stymied or whatever, to where you can't move. Then that's the ones that they love to use all the live long. And it honestly just really just gets annoying because, like, these characters are just made to just get in your way. Like,
Why? Why are you doing this to me?
I understand when you have to fight them, that's okay.
Don't do this!
But-
Please!
When they're incorporated in, like, missions like this, and they're just there just to... How long can I stall someone
We've invested
from
billions
doing
researching
something?
your DNA.
It's not about, like...
Not going in.
Like, realistically, for the comic books, and...
Please,
I can't take it
If you
anymore.
remove them from those chambers without the proper shutdown codes, they'll die.
We
Then I'll
gotta,
just have to get those codes from the mainframe, won't I?
we gotta talk to the scientist now.
Get to the mainframes and stop her. Destroy them if you have to, but don't let her get those codes.
Don't let her get her codes! If anything, I have to freaking catch her first. But yeah,
Dr. Cisco Journal.
I
Research Project.
don't know, I really like the story. It's getting better and better with every level. So, like, I don't have enough to, like, yeah, I want to complain about every little thing. No, like, if anything, like, from a person that understands kind of, like, the way things are, it's like, well, yeah, like, of course the computer character is just trying to stall you because...
I can't control it.
I have to get these codes and free the prisoners.
Okay, Supergirl.
Forget this. I gotta get the codes.
Oh, well, you aren't gonna get them because I'm gonna destroy all this stuff before you can get to it. And by the way, tell your cousin I said hello. I'm coming for him. I'm coming for him.
Really ticking me off.
Oh, that's too bad, Supergirl. Well,
My time.
maybe if you didn't get your own little
I'll get the codes from Dr. Psycho.
private world of something called a sitcom, maybe give some other people a chance. Yeah, they just follow you everywhere you go. Can I just get a second to heal, please? Give me a second to heal, would ya? Could ya? But yeah,
I'll show you what they put me through with my fist.
I don't know, for Supergirl's design, I'm sure they probably were trying to make it look like the show route. I don't know, to me, she just kind of looks just really, I don't know, she kind of looks very vanilla to me. With a lot of characters that we see that are like, wow, great, awesome. Like, I know there's a lot of characters that don't have a lot of, like, designs and what have you, and I'm sure Supergirl is very limited. But again, like, Supergirl to me, like, probably out of all the characters that I've played against or played with or whatever, even against, like, either Giganta or even Wonder Girl, she's probably the more of the vanilla, blandish ones of pretty much all of them. But again, that's kind of expected just because,
Get away!
because really, like, it's Supergirl is basically the response back that I could get. It's like, come on, it's Supergirl. It's not like it's Cyborg or whatever, and they can have tons of detail and whatever. It's Supergirl. Come on. If anything, it's somebody hence saw an episode before this.
So rapidly, I'm worried about the container's integrity.
Dr. Cisco journal entry, meta research project, day 8.
I honestly kind of mentioned that I kind of wished that Superboy was in this level instead of Supergirl. Just because I think it makes sense. It makes sense story-wise. I think it makes much more sense, but like realistically, with Supergirl being tied to Lex Luthor in some capacity, I guess it makes sense. Maybe she was getting some dirt on him while they were, let's just say, maybe mysteriously together.
Dr. Cisco journal entry, meta research project.
I think Supergirl is a freaking double agent sometimes. Because freaking,
Dr. Cisco journal entry, meta research project, day 8.
I always get suspicious of Supergirl because you don't know, story-wise what side she'll be on. Because
Dr. Cisco journal entry, meta research project, day 8.
there's sometimes that she is with the heroes or with, like, Legion in the future, but
Dead end. Where are you going to run to now?
But there's some times when she does float that line of maybe in mostly probably alternate worlds or what have you, but there's some times where she is a Lex fangirl, so.
Where did it...
Well, look at this! Look!
I hate Lex Luthor.
I got you a present! It's called Kryptonite! Again! Tell your cousin I said hello! So I'm coming for him. If I could take one Kryptonian and frickin' make him bleed. What do you think good old, let's just say Clarky boy? What? Am I spoiling somebody's identity to somebody? Oh, it's okay, Supergirl. Well, we can talk in secret. We can talk in secret. You know what? It's too bad that Brainiac stole Kandor from you. Isn't that too bad? Maybe if you switch teams, maybe he'll give you Kandor back, huh? Give you a little give you that planet in the bottle, like in that Superman Unbound or whatever the heck that new Superman Brainiac movie came out, whatever that one was about. When I watched that one, I was like, oh god, this is what that's about. I've only heard this story 18 times already, but okay, like, I still watched it anyways. Supergirl.
What did you just do? I'll pay you back. And I'm bringing friends.
Blah, 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 bringing friends. You better bring your cousin. Ooh, Kryptonian boots? Ooh, Kryptonian. Ooh, we get some Kryptonian items. Well, you know what? I'm gonna be walking away, and I'm really walking away. I'm gonna be walking away with some Kryptonian items. Look, Supergirl, I got your effing boots. And I'm definitely going to be wearing them out the door, Supergirl, because, yeah! I'm going to be walking away from you, sucker.
Chief Researchers Journal. It's not as dangerous when separated
I
from
could have handled Supergirl myself. I was simply plotting my next move while being tied up. I'll ensure my good friend Lex Luthor, hires you again.
Sure. Sure, you were planning your next move. There,
Want to
buddy.
see the world through my eyes? It's easy. Just picture everything you want and can't have, and multiply that 10,000 times. Everyone laughing at you, pushing you aside, unless you take the power for yourself and make them give you what you want. Luthor knows. Soon they'll all know. And when I get what I want, I'll be the only one laughing.
Yeah, I recently saw the trailer for Hush, and supposedly I see in that movie where Poison Ivy, because I read some of Hush, but I haven't read all of it. I know what ultimately happens, but evidently Poison Ivy takes control of Superman. That was kind of interesting. To see that kind of see that, I'm like, yeah, freaking Poison Ivy controlling Superman. Like, that's kind of an interesting dilemma to just, cause yeah, like, freaking, some of these characters, like Poison Ivy, like, just never really get used until it's, like, a big, huge event, and that's freaking sad. It's like, Poison Ivy is a character that, like, should really, like, mean something in the whole, like, she should mean something to be used, but instead she's kind of just used, like, hey, when there's a big event, Poison Ivy, there you go. It's like, man, what a missed opportunity to have, like, such a great character and for her to just kind of be barely used. But again, like, that's kind of how, like, if you look at the DC catalog of characters, that's honestly how it goes. And I just kind of skipped through so I can save time, because for these long travels through stuff where I don't make much progress but flying, I kind of want to skip through just to kind of not waste people's time. So we can shave off a minute or two.
You did a good job putting out that fire. Things could have gotten much worse. Especially if Supergirl hadn't run into you.
Well, that's great, but your name sucks. Change your name, buddy.
Things are getting lively in Gotham. Talk to Two-Face for more details. He's in our North Burnley nightclub, waiting for you. Try not to stare. He hates that.
Yeah, speaking of Two-Face, considering we're gonna see his face, I really liked the design of Two-Face. They were going for, I believe they were probably trying to make it look just like the animated series, which was fine by me. I was hoping that they weren't gonna go and do some weird and strange other routes about going about doing that, because what other references do we really have of Two-Face besides the Arkham games and Batman Forever? Other than that, there's not much. I hope they definitely wouldn't be going for the Batman Forever route. Oh yeah, or the Arkham Knight. How did I miss that? I'm sure they weren't gonna go with that route either.
Flip a coin. Heads, we both head out to Amusement Mile and help Joker out with a little cop trouble. Tails, we let Batman take the Joker down. But I already flipped for you. See you there.
Ever get that feeling things aren't blowing up fast enough? Satisfy that urge and head over to the party I'm throwing at Amusement Mile. I'm testing my new toxin on the GCPD. It's a real blast!
Yeah, so we're gonna get to start working with the Joker, and yeah, good times. If anything, some of the stuff that that was in the mission that we're gonna be doing soon is really fun, is really interesting, is really different. And yeah, it's just like,
If you
again,
ever run into Batman, do what we do. Run. You don't want to do time in Arkham. Trust me.
trust me, I know. I used to put people in Arkham. Now I used to put them in there. Now I'm close to being someone who's gonna go in there because I'm tired of all this garbage.
Oh good, you're here. But guess what? I'm not. I'm leading Batty on a merry chase around Gotham while Harley safeguards my new toxin formula. So make yourself at home. Check out my giant new Joker bombs. Dump them in the funhouse air vent for a guaranteed gas.
It's like, hey, I got a box. I got a in a box. Yeah, I end up opening this box up and immediately regretting it later. You know what? I honestly really don't understand why we have to have like Joker droids. I know they kind of reference that in some kind of stuff, but I wonder if we're ever gonna get levels like Toy Maker or anything like that in this. Maybe if probably in a hero story that probably comes up, but it would be interesting to get like characters like Toy Maker or I'm sure probably like the Island of Misfit Toys characters.
It's all in good fun. Who doesn't love 10,000-volt toy buzzers?
Yeah, it's like you gotta give it to them. Like, there's a lot of things that are very,
I'm on it! Hands up and weapons down!
there's a lot of stuff that's very creative about this game, but then there's also things that I'm just kind of like, man, like, here's a missed opportunity that we could have done this thing here from how many massive times I've done or seen or read something. Like, man, here's a miss something or other. I think I mentioned kind of on someone's, I might have even mentioned this before. I think the one greatest thing that we are missing really in this whole thing is our own character backstory. Really, like, I don't like the fact that we're just kind of placed here. That just sucks. Like, if anything, I made my own backstory just because, like,
I'm on it.
the backstory of this game was inadequate or something that I didn't want as a backstory, so I made my own. Because really, in all actuality, I honestly want nothing to do with this whole Brainiac event. Like, I want to be a pre-established character before this all happened, instead of me just happenstance, like, be created through a mass amount of whatever Brainiac chemicals or whatever that was dropped, or
Hands up and weapons down.
whatever the heck thing happened in the beginning of this game. Because I honestly don't want to accept that as my origin story. Because it really doesn't really feel like my origin story.
Call for backup. I'm hit.
And if people probably feel the same way, especially after watching part 0 or part 1 of this, or maybe part 1 of the hero story, let me know in the comments below. Frickin' yeah, like, for me, what really bugs me is just, I would rather have
We'll bring you down.
I would rather have a pre-existing storyline. Like, I think for New 52, like, New 52 and all the other freaking reboots under the sun will want characters to
Man down.
not know a character exists and just be like, oh hey, that's Green Lantern, oh great, yeah, I've never heard of him before, or yeah, I have heard about him, but it's just been hush-hush tones or whatever. But like, Batman knows everything about everybody, so yeah. But when it comes down to it, it's just,
Call for backup.
it just gets annoying how realistically we're familiar with these characters. Like, if we weren't familiar with any of these characters, then we wouldn't be playing this game or watching this game or whatever we're doing. If we weren't familiar and invested in these characters. But, like, for us as fans to already know these characters, but be
1199, request assistance.
put into a story that we're introduced to them and they aren't familiar with us and whatever, it just kind of is like, like, but I guess some people might just also say, it's like, well, yeah, but technically if they just gave us just a whole big story, and like Batman just goes like, oh yeah, I remember you were this great nonchalant person or whatever that did all these cool things, and good on you. Realistically, I'm sure that'll take a lot of people out of the experience as well, just because it's just kind of like, man, this kind of like, we're just told that we're like great at what we do, and Batman was just like, yeah, awesome. Like, I know you, but I don't care about you, and whatever. Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
1199, request
assistance!
Again? Excuse me. If we had a story out of the gate to invest in our own character, that's all I'm really asking. Because, like, really, we're just supposed to invest in Lex. We're supposed to invest in Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and Justice League and what have you, and Brainiac, I guess. But this story is about us, and this story has nothing to do with us.
I got this one. Keep fighting.
But yeah, but I'm sure there is some fire back to that, is because, like, well, like in the New 52, like, each one of the books had Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman all in it, and, like, and they were just kind of coaching the new guy, and so really, you're really just supposed to invest in these teachers.
Don't think I haven't noticed you. Joker's toxin is no joke. He and Harley are creating a deadly new version here at Amusement Mile. So if you want to stay healthy, you'll leave. Now.
Oh, so now, Mr. Big Daddy Warbucks.
That's right, you know. This new toxin is really something special. I've hidden a gas mask for you inside one of those tastefully wrapped packages. The others hold delightfully deadly surprises. But hey, what's a party without game?
Okay, so now, Mr. Daddy Warbucks, now you know who we are. You noticed us. You should have been noticing us all along. Like, I'm basically in your city dancing around. Dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight. And, like, now I'm on your radar. Should have been on your radar all along. But yeah. I guess that's Batman for you. I guess he's having so many things on his plate with joining so many, 4 to 5 to 6 different teams part-time that he doesn't have the time to be concerned with a guy like me, I guess. So yeah. We're going to go into the Funhouse, Joker Funhouse in the next episode. So yeah. Definitely we're going to be getting into some more jokes. So I'm going to jokingly say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, everybody.